how to follow up in wholesale real estate. So the follow up is key in wholesale real estate. You need to understand that the money is in following up with sellers. So after you cold call them, you set up an appointment, you even saw the house, now you got to put them on a follow up schedule where you call them accordingly to urgency or accordingly to how ready they are to sell. So essentially, if someone is needing to sell their house in the next month, you're essentially calling them every single day, right? Making sure you can put them under contract at a great price that you can sell, because this is urgent, right? They need to sell soon. All right. Now, if someone needs to sell their house in a year, then you don't need to call them every single day, right? Probably not even every single week or every 2 weeks, maybe once a month, once every 2 months. But as that year approaches, then you up your frequency of calls. I'm going to share my screen with you all and share you all like this document I made on how to follow up. All right, so follow up. Put a date to everything. Okay? I had different training videos on this channel as I show how to make sure you put dates on a lead every time you follow up with them. Okay, from the first contact to closing the deal, put dates so you can start seeing your average time to close, right? This is super important to see your stats. I'm also going to talk about in this video following up and what to say and what to do, right? And how to build that rapport and connection. Make sure you all subscribe to this channel, like and comment. All right. Now, always do what you say. So always do what you say is super important, because if you tell the seller, hey, I'm going to be at your house at a certain date, or I'm going to call you in a week, and you don't do that, you lose trust with that seller. That seller is like, okay, will this person actually deliver in buying my house, right? Or being able for you to find a cash buyer so you can wholesale the deal, assign the deal, right? Be a woman of your word. Be a man of your word, right? That's the key in follow up, right? You say, okay, I have you on a schedule to call you back in a month. Make sure you put that on your Google Calendar, your Apple Calendar, your Android Calendar, whatever calendar you use, and follow up with that person. All right. Make sure you put reminders, you put the dates. Now, what to say and how to follow up. One is that, okay, you have your initial call where you get the information about their house, their timeline to sell, the condition of the house, and let's say you even saw the property, right? So you did all of that up front. Now, the follow up, how should these conversations go? Well, first, just start off the call by introducing yourself. Ask them, how are they doing, right? How's everything? And just get a feel of that. And then, and that doesn't have to be too long. You don't want to push that too long, right? A follow-up is pretty quick, all right? They're not like the first initial calls. It can take longer as you all get closer to actually buying the house. But the follow-ups, you don't want to annoy the seller, all right? Ask them, okay, how are you doing? Okay, good. They just say, fine, cool. They actually say, oh, fine, thanks for asking. Yeah, I wanted to follow up with you and see how the process of selling a home is going. I know you say you had this timeline. You know, bring up the timeline that they gave you, right? Or if you went to the house and you saw it needed a ton of repairs and they said, hey, I'm going to take care of it. Ask them about that. You know, hey, were you able to fix the leak in your roof? Right? And if they still haven't fixed it, you know, in a way, you know, that gives you more leverage, because you're like, okay, you know, I'm still interested in buying the house as is, where you don't even have to worry about that leak. So what you do is on the follow-up, you're always bringing back what you got from the first call, right? The condition of the property. You're bringing back the timeline of the property, making sure these things are still true for the seller, right? You're bringing up the price point that you're looking. Well, no, you're not really bringing up the price point. You don't need to talk about price every time, but you talk about the condition, you talk about the timeline, and you talk about their why they're needing to sell. Yeah, I know you say you wanted to downsize, right? How is that search going for? You know, right now the market is lower right now because it's winter or whatever. You may get a better price. Or hey, it's summer right now. Were you able to find a good house? There's more supply right now on the market. And so you bring all of these things up so you could push that sense of urgency a little bit more as you get closer and closer to their timeline, right? Now, if you're following up with them every single day, and when I say every single day, it's not every single day, right? It's most days during a business week. Usually during weekends, you don't call a seller, even though they need to sell in a month, right? You need to respect that. Unless they tell you, hey, you can call me during the weekends, right? So if someone needs to sell in a month, maybe call them twice a week or 3 times a week. You could sense the urgency anyways. And you may need to visit the house more often, whatever it is. So just wanted to correct that first statement I made earlier in the video. But so you're bringing up everything that you got from the first call. Let's say it's 6 months down the road. So every month that you're following up with them, you're bringing that up. Another thing that you're doing is you're trying to build rapport, right? If they told you about a family member, they're cooking something, or maybe they're going through some health complications, they had a surgery, you bring up these things too. Say, hey, how did that surgery go? Oh, how's your dog doing, or your cat? And you name the dog, of course, if they gave you the name. And you just follow up. That's how you build rapport. That's how you build trust, right? In that follow-up call. So you keep on doing that throughout the follow-up calls. Another thing is with the follow-up calls, you need to make sure you establish expertise, right? You establish that you're the person that they need to go to in order to sell their house, right? And so you have to bring up, we're looking at more properties in this area, and we would love to get your property. And maybe you purchased the property, maybe you wholesale the property in that area before, and you say, yeah, that house down the street, I actually helped that person move out. They were able to get a great deal on this property, and it was a win-win situation for both of us, right? And so you bring that up, right? You build up, that expertise, right? Because, they need to see you as an expert, right? That you know what you're doing, right? And so let's say 6 months down the road, you've been following up, checking in, making sure those points that you reached on the first call are always reached. And you're bringing up things you all said in a previous conversation back up, right? Like, oh, you mentioned this last time. I'm gonna bring it up again for this conversation. So you're doing that throughout the call, and then towards the end, let's say it's getting closer and closer, you can sense more and more urgency, right? So now you really dial in, you talk to them a little bit more. So maybe instead of once a month, now you're calling them twice a month, and then 4 times a month, which is essentially every week, maybe 2 times a week. And then you're going to the house again to see if anything changed in the house, right? So you're doing all these different things. I know I talked a lot, but yeah, what you say, put reminders on your phone, look at your Excel CRM, do all that. Use your reminder app on your iPhone to stay on loop on top of your leads, especially hot leads. So this is super important for follow-ups, because you can forget, right? You can forget about leads, especially if you have a ton of leads. So all of these things are important, because you think you can keep it in your mind. You can't keep it in your mind, right? You can't keep it in mind. Please because there's this quote. It says something that if something can't be tracked, it can't be successful, or something like that. And or if it can't be written down or tracked or whatever, you won't really accomplish what you need to accomplish. You have to have a journal, right, in a way. And so this is super important. So do all of that, you all. I hope you all enjoyed this video on how to follow up. Please be sure to like, subscribe, and comment down below. Bye.